everybody. Does it start?
Mm-hmm.
Can I start first?
You can start first. Say it.
Hi, everybody.
Alright guys, we're getting started here. If you're watching this video in the future, I usually ramble for a few minutes, give the chat room a minute to start here. We do this show every single Friday at 8:30 p.m. Hold on. Quinn is with us tonight, so I'm sorry if you continue to watch this and she talks over me the whole time, but we are doing our best to practice being quiet, aren't we?
No,
are we going to practice being...
My name is Cinderella.
Oh, Cinderella's doing her best to practice being quiet. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through a little list of topics that we have here, and then hopefully we'll have some interaction within the chat room. We do this for about 15-20 minutes, give or take. Sometimes it's been upwards of an hour, sometimes it's only been like 10 minutes. But yeah, we do this every Friday, and then on Wednesdays we do parks videos. On Mondays we do Disney Store videos. Hold on, baby. And if you check out the link below...
My name is Cinderella.
Cinderella, I please need you to hold on, okay?
I need to tell someone.
Okay, tell someone.
Hi, everybody. My name is Cinderella.
Okay. Now go watch your video for me, please, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Can you go watch your movie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then you need to stay quiet while we finish this up, okay? We'll go over the week's news topics. Most of these are taken from either podcasts I listen to or things like WDW News Today or Chip & Co. Wherever I just stumble across news, I kind of just keep a tally throughout the week, write them down, and we talk about them. If I go over something too quickly in the chat room, because there is a pretty severe lag with this, say something in the comments, and we will just circle back. Yeah, you drank it all. I warned you. And we'll just go back to topics, or if you kind of come in late and there's something you want to talk about, just throw it in the chat room, and we will bring it up. You can talk to me here or on Twitter, and everything will work out well. Stephanie Lockwood said, "Hi, Cinderella." You say hi, Stephanie?
Hi.
Say hi, Stephanie.
Hi, Stephanie.
Say thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Alright, so we're going to get rolling here now that we got one person here in the chat room, and again, if I go over things too quick...
two persons.
There's only one. It says one right up there. Here we go. The very first thing that we want to talk about is... at Hollywood Studios.
Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, hold on.
I very want to go to Disney World.
Me too.
Or Disney Store.
Okay, hold on though. Let me finish doing this up though. Cutbacks were announced, I believe it was yesterday, for Hollywood Studios, and I'm going to go kind of through them as a whole and talk about actually how shocked I am. I should say this before I start. In the current state of Hollywood Studios, with the Great Movie Ride shutting down, I just, them cutting back things just seems like a bad idea to me. But here's what it was announced yesterday. The appetizers are going to be removed from the Fast Pass, or from the Fantasmic dining package. The price went down $3 for like certain meals, but not much. Nope, you gotta get up. Gotta get up from underneath there. You're gonna hit something. Get up, please. And we went down $3, and this takes effect January 1st. $3 doesn't make up for the lack of appetizers, but we don't do dining packages, and I don't know. It just seems weird. And then the Star Wars tour, which I'm not sure anybody's actually doing, but maybe they're doing it.
No, my name is Cinderella.
It's the thing they announced not that long ago when they did like the turn Epcot into the Death Star. They basically take you on a tour of all the Star Wars things that are currently in the park, and then you get to ride Star Tours, and like you get like I think you get like a dessert party or something like that.
Look at that. Who's that?
Miss Quinn.
Dad, who's that?
Miss Cinderella. Whoop.
Oh.
Are you okay? This is why I didn't want you climbing. Okay?
Dad,
I don't know what you're talking about, please. I'm sorry, anybody who's actually watching this. I really am. Quinn, please.
No, my name is
Cinderella, please. Please. I told you if you were going to be in here today, you had to let me finish this, okay? So basically it's this like $120 meal thing, and they take you around. It's like 7 hours long, and I'm not even sure how they fill up 7 hours in Hollywood Studios. There's a lot of jokes about it when it was announced, and apparently people do it, but they're cutting down the hours, and like it's only in the morning. Hold on. Nope. Quinn.
I need to show someone.
I need you to go in the living room now.
Excuse me, Dad.
Yes, ma'am.
My name is Cinderella.
Yes, Cinderella.
I really need to show everybody my spin.
Oh, okay. Show them your spin, and then you gotta go in the living room. Show them your spin.
No,
Show them your spin, and then go in the living room.
I don't want to go in the living room.
Show them your spin. Baby, there are literally people sitting here watching us argue. Woo! Okay, no more. I need you to go and stay silent, okay? Go find a toy or something to play with. Let me finish here. All right. It's okay. She's keeping my 14-month-old quiet. Yeah, she will do that. That's something she actually has. We've been working with her to make some videos because obviously she very much likes being in front of the camera. So at some point in time there will be a separate Quinn video channel. So if you watch this and you have children and your children like to watch her be obnoxious, then you will see some more of her at some point here. Dea Steve's here. Hi Steve, thanks for coming in tonight. Basically, it's the Star Wars party. It's basically the hours are changing for it. They're also taking the desserts away from that. It's morning and early afternoon, and that starts October 1st. The price did go down $22. It's $99.99 now instead of $120 or $130 or something like that. Still not worth it. Not at all. I'm not sure I'd pay for that if it was $20, but still. Launch day also on October 1st is going to shorten their hours, so there's going to be less hours. They took away the Jawas this week, so there's not much left to do in there anyways. Okay, you can play it on the floor though, okay?
But it's not going to be. Watch it. It's going to put it and it's not going to work.
Okay, but I need you to stay down here and let me finish, okay? I'm almost done and we're going to go get Mama, okay? Stay down here. So, yeah. Steve, you're just coming in. I'm just talking about the cutbacks at Hollywood Studios at a time when they should be expanding offers.
Sorry, everybody.
Nope.
Let's play this.
Nope. And you just need to stay quiet for a minute. We're cutting back at the Phantasmic Dining package and the Star Wars tour thing that I still can't believe not a single person has ever paid for. But yeah, they should be adding things at this point, especially when they're going to be taking down Great Movie right here. The other big announcement of the week, probably the biggest announcement of the week in Disney news. I only tend to go over the bigger things, but this was probably the big.
There's no free.
Okay, baby, you need to stay quiet for a little bit. I'm almost done. With Star Wars virtual reality attraction coming to Disney World and Disneyland. Basically, if you Google it, there's the same company who made this. It's under the kind of the Disney umbrella. Made a Ghostbusters VR a few years ago, and like you went through and you were able to like fight the ghosts and stuff, and like it was. There's a video that exists of it online, and it kind of shows what you would be seeing in the VR goggles, and it looks amazing. I'm sure people who hate screens and like joke about Disney just turning into a bunch of screens and like turning into Universal and all this because of the screens will probably not like this VR thing, because you could basically put this in like a conference room and have the same experience that you would in Disney. So like, if it looks anywhere near what the Ghostbuster one was, and I'm sure it's going to be even more advanced if they're putting this in the park. I'm not sure. I think it's going to be amazing. It's starting this holiday season. I'm not sure what that means. For me, holiday season means like basically November 1st, kind of the way Disney does it. But I mean, technically Disney consider like they have holiday parties, and they consider Halloween the holiday parties. I doubt it's starting as early as the Halloween party is, but like it doesn't seem like it's going to take a whole lot to do this VR thing. Jumping back to our previous topic about cutbacks at the studios, Steve said, agreed, not worth it for the Star Wars party. I have to wonder why they even bother to keep DHS open until Toy Story Land. You know what? I'm going to contradict you there. Keep Hollywood Studios open. I don't know how they, in their right mind, could possibly charge full price. Like, how can you tell me? Well, let's just round it, because I know there's variable pricing, probably. Let's say $100. Let's say all parks are $100. How can you tell me that a one-day $100 ticket to Hollywood Studios is the same value as a one-day $100 ticket to Magic Kingdom? Now, I know those numbers aren't exact, but tell me. Like I know there are people out there who love the studios, and even love the studios in their current form. Understanding that it's all in progress. I just don't see the value in it. I really think, like, we're going in a few weeks, I would buy a Hollywood Studios ticket to do stuff like the Great Movie Ride. I probably wouldn't do the Great Movie Ride, but, like, just the little things. If they were like, it's a $40 ticket. Because it's a half a park at this point, like, or whatever that may be. Like, I may actually consider buying a ticket there, but we're not going back till Toy Story Land's open. Like, there's nothing to do there. Last time we were there, we were in and out in, like, 4 hours. Hold on, baby. Continuing, Stephanie, I don't know. I'm assuming you're talking about the cost, or I'm not sure which one you're talking about. I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm behind there. Dave, Steve, I saw the Ghostbusters video a while back, and I thought it looked awesome. Can't wait to check out the Star Wars one. Yeah, I mean, looks 100% great. Like, there is literally no there's no other words to say because like that looks really cool. Imagine, like, so they're shooting the Ghostbusters gun. Imagine doing that but with lightsabers, man. It's gonna be so cool. You could be Han Solo because then you'd have the gun again if that's like a feature of it. I'm Dave Steve. I can't imagine paying for that outside of a multi-day park hopper. So that's another option. If you don't feel comfortable cutting the cost of the tickets, then just leave it, baby. Just leave it. We'll pick it up later. Then make every Hollywood Studios ticket a park hopper, or make every ticket that you buy. So if you buy like a Magic Kingdom or an Epcot or an Animal Kingdom, make it with a park hopper for just Hollywood Studios. So like I can go there and spend the 2 hours that it takes to tour the park and then leave. That'd be my suggestion. The other thing that happened earlier in the week, it might even happen last week, and I know I didn't cover it though. Okay, you can do that one. Siemens, the sponsor of basically half of Epcot. Hold on, baby.
Sorry, everybody.
No, I'm not going to say that. You just need to hold on. Siemens, the basically sponsor of Epcot, things like Illuminations and Spaceship Earth, and I believe there might be something else. I'm not sure. They, not too long ago, it was announced that they were not re-signing their sponsorship of Spaceship Earth and Illuminations and all that stuff. But they were supposed to be able to stay in their, they have like a corporate lounge at Spaceship Earth. Hold on. Shh. Quinn. Shh. They're supposed to stay until September 30th. And they like abruptly left on July 31st. Disney is now fully taken over. I believe the sponsorships still stay on until the 31st, but that was kind of strange and weird. And you can now see, I think WDW News today had like a video of what that back room looked like. It looks really cool. Talking what we talked about like months ago, is probably a good like indicator where you'll see maybe a Club 33. I don't know that, nobody's suggesting that.
Whoa!
What'd you do? What, baby? Okay, let me finish here. Let me finish. But yeah, that was kind of strange that it happened, and I haven't read anything into like why people think that it actually did happen. But I'm curious to figure out like why that. I mean, obviously the relationship soured. Well, no, go play with these over with your games and stuff down here. Come down here. But yeah, from what came out this week, it sounds like Siemens, instead of offering to pay for their sponsorship of Spaceship Earth, just eat those, please. Okay? Instead of offering to pay for their sponsorship of Spaceship Earth, they offer a new fleet of monorails. And I'm not sure how Disney turned that down. Because, like, let's look at the alternative. So you don't take the monorails because you wanted money for it. So they then walk away, and you stop. Please stop talking. Okay. I'm not sure how you pass that up. The monorails are falling apart, so you get monorails. Like, it was either you get monorails or you don't get any monorails. They clearly weren't going to pay for it. They're still not paying for it if you let them back out. So, it doesn't make sense to why they wouldn't take the monorail option. The monorails are too vital to everything that Disney does, like, especially with Magic Kingdom. Like, you're not going to get rid of the monorail. There's always more to these stories than what we'll ever hear. We don't know all the inner workings or anything like that.
Dad, look at this shirt.
Oh, wow. No, I'm not eating that. You eat that.
No, everybody wants.
No, they don't want it.
Here you go, everybody. What did he say?
Nothing. I don't think anybody's actually paying attention to you. They're trying to.
They say, yeah.
trying to figure out why you're just talking over me the whole time and putting your fingers all over my face.
Sorry.
No, I'm not going to keep apologizing for you because you can't listen.
Sorry, buddy. Quizzy and Gummy.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see. But yeah, that part didn't really make sense to me. Sorry I haven't been updating things over here. Last thing, I always every week ask for suggestions into what we should talk about prior to going in to these events, and it doesn't necessarily have to be current news. It can be any news. And Flying to Disney suggested the Star Wars Hotel.
Star Wars Hotel.
When you don't talk with your mouth open like that. Not with food in your mouth, okay?
Okay.
So we're gonna talk about the Star Wars Hotel. I'm excited about it. There hasn't been really much new news.
Star Wars Hotel?
Please stop. I'm going to lock you out in the other room. If you said you wanted to be in here, I said you could come in the office tonight and do the show if you were going to be quiet. We didn't get any real new news yet. I think what we can expect is that the Spaceship Earth restaurant that's coming will be kind of a test for this, because what we know so far is all the windows are going to have a view into space, which means there's going to be no actual windows. It's all going to be screens, and that's what the Spaceship Earth restaurant's going to be. So I think you're going to see that as like kind of a test for this and test the technology. It sounds like from everything I've read and seen, this is actually going to happen. There is some debate on different podcasts as to like when it will happen. Some people think it's going to be like kind of coinciding with the opening of Star Wars Land. I think the more logical mindset is that they're going to open Star Wars Land, because that's like the last big thing they got going for them. We're going to see we'll see Epcot things announced before then, but like things probably open after then. But for the most part, that's the end of the big thing. So I think what you're going to see is Star Wars Land, or Galaxy's Edge, whatever you call it, open, see how it does, and then 2-3 years later, we'll see the opening of the Star Wars Hotel, so they have another big thing, like, come back again! Because what you're going to see with Star Wars Land is they're going to be pulling in new people who aren't, like, Disney Parks fans. They're Star Wars fans, and they've either never been, or not since early childhood, been to the parks, and, like, they're going to be coming back for this for the first time. They're going to be bringing in a whole new fan base, and sure, you're going to get them to come down once, maybe twice for Star Wars Land, but 3-4 years later, you're going to need a reason to hook them back in. I think that's the reason. I don't think there's much else to talk about. Do you guys have any thoughts or opinions or questions about Star Wars Land? And maybe we can stream it from there. Something like said, I'm excited. I can't wait to see it. The day Steve said it's going to be expensive. You know what? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about expensive. I don't think it's going to be that expensive. We've been doing a lot of research into going on a cruise lately. It's something we want to do in the next 2-3 years. You need to think of the Star Wars Hotel as a cruise, a land cruise, a non-sea parked cruise. And if you think of it that way, the rumored price from Len Testa, who seems to be by all means a credible person if you are part of the community, he seems to know what he's talking about. His podcast, in my opinion, is probably the best, if not one of the best podcasts that exists. He says $650 per night. There'll be 2 nights going to be the standard, but upwards of a 4-night stay. And it's not going to be, from what I understand, like an option to extend. It's not like a hotel where you're like, oh, I want to stay a couple more days. It's much more like a cruise. The cruise is over at a certain point, and you get off the boat, and it's going to be very similar with this. So we'll stick with the 2-night stay idea. It's 2 nights, $650 a night. So if it's me and Courtney, for example, because I'm not sure, unless it does happen 5-6 years from now, Quinn will be old then. But if let's say it happens by 2019 or whenever Star Wars Land is supposed to be open. Quinn, are you okay? Quinn, what are you doing?
Just climbing around.
Okay, stay there. I'll be out in a minute. So let's say $650 a night for 2 nights. That's $1,300. If it's just me and Courtney, so let's say 2, you add another $250 per person per night. So that's another $500. So that's $1,800. So for $1,800, you get a 2-night stay. So $900 a night. But it includes park tickets to the studios. So that's, let's say, again, rounding, $100 for each person each day. So that's $400 right there. So then you take that $400 off of the essentially, like, what did I say, $1,800. So that's only $1,400. So that's only $700 a day. And then food is also included. And I'm going to assume you're going to get at least one, probably 2 table services. So let's say what's an average meal for 2 cost on the low end at a decent restaurant at Disney. We'll say $60 with tip. So it's $60, 2 meals, 120, 2 days, 240, 120 per day off. So that's 600, 580. So it's essentially what you're paying for room and board is $580 per day. That is expensive. 1, there are more expensive rooms than that on property. 2, for what you're getting for the whole, you're not going to Disney World for that. Understand that you more than likely, oh wow, you are more than likely not even leaving that hotel / Hollywood's Galaxy's Edge for those 2 days. So for what you're getting, the attention to detail, the essentially VIP service that you're going to be getting for what is at the high end peak holiday prices for like Grand Floridian. It's expensive, yes. It is not nearly as extreme as it seems because it includes park tickets and it includes your food.
Hello.
Hold on. And if it's anything like an actual cruise, which I'm not assuming that it is, but if it's anything like an actual cruise, then your food is unlimited. Sit down before you fall. Sit down before you fall. Sit down before you fall.
I just stand.
And I said, sit down before you fall. Okay? Thank you. So yes, I agree, it's expensive. But I also don't think, it's not something we would ever do on an every visit stay. But I don't think they expect it to be. Rumor is 300 rooms. They expect this to be a very niche, like, once, 2, maybe 3 times ever in a lifetime experience. This is not something that they're expecting people to, like, this be like their home resort every time they stay at Disney. That's not what this is meant to be. This is meant to be a once experience, not your, like, if you stay at the Poly every time you go, like, now I'm staying here instead. That's not what this is supposed to be. Get out before you end up hitting something and you shut the computer off. And you're going to hit your head. Steve, won't stop me. I'll be there in costume. The rumor is it includes costume. Like, the rumor is you don't have to bring costume or be in costume. The rumor is that
I really like your pink puppy.
Cool.
I mean, I like the pink bunny.
Okay.
It hops up like this.
You know?
One like idea.
So yeah, that's my argument.
Boing.
It's expensive for us. We stay at All Stars, and we go to the parks. We stay at a resort for 4 or 5 days, but we'll only go into the park for like 1 or 2 days. Like we go very cheaply to Disney, and we don't spend a ton of money. And so like something like the Star Wars event is not something that like we're just gonna be able to like, let's go do it. But I also don't think it's nearly as bad as what it sounds like when you hear the initial price. And again, this is all rumors. It hasn't happened yet. It's not even built. There's rumors that like there's a small chance that it might not actually even happen because like they're just kind of testing waters and like they don't know what it's going to cost and they don't know if people are going to be able to afford it. Like, but if the rumored numbers that I just gave, which were from Testa, that's fine, baby. Put that book back that you just took though. Put that book back. Thank you. Don't mess with those up there. That's a very old book. Then I don't think those numbers are too terrible. That would be a once in a lifetime experience for me. But I don't think that it's... No, we're getting ready to leave, baby. Put everything back in there. I don't think it's that terrible. It's expensive, but like we've been looking at a cruise, and for like a 4-day cruise, like it's a little bit more than actually a lot bit more than that. And like I don't know. I think it just depends on I don't think it's something that you do like We try to go twice a year to Disney. And if we lived closer or were able to afford annual passes, we'd probably go even more. Like, this is not something we'd even do once a year. This is not something we'd probably do more than once every, 5 years, if that. It might be like a do once and never do it again sort of thing. But I do think that it's not nearly as crazy as it seems. I think they will have all 300 rooms filled all the time. That's my opinion of it. That's all I got for tonight. I'm going to go over what we talked about prior to this, but I do need to get going here in about 5 minutes. Cutbacks at Hollywood Studios when they should be adding things. They're cutting back at the Fantasmic Dining Package and the Star Wars Tour / Dessert Party. Not specifically the dessert party, just the tour that comes with the dessert party. Star Wars VR experience coming to Disney World and Disneyland. Looks very similar to sounds very similar. It's from the same company that did the Ghostbusters VR, and if you haven't seen that, there are videos of it online, and it looks awesome. Siemens abruptly leaves their corporate boardroom sponsored relax chill area at Spaceship Earth. They're offering free monorails for the sponsorship, and the Star Wars Hotel as suggested by Flying to Disney. Anybody have anything that I just talked about there that you guys would like to go over before we leave for the night, or anything else that we did not talk about from this week in news that you would like my opinion on? Not that you really care about my opinion. If not, thanks for watching. Sorry that you had to deal with her talking over me the whole time, and I was turning away from the camera many, many times. Hopefully you enjoyed it. What? Yep, just talk your heart out until someone says something.
Can I have a drink of water?
Yep.
Hey, turn it
Nope.
even bigger.
Nope. Just take your drink. Alright guys, I don't see anybody adding anything in the chat room, so we are going to end it now. Thank you guys for watching tonight. I will still keep it in here and keep everything going for a couple minutes so I can make sure nobody adds anything before I leave. But yeah, thanks for watching tonight. We do this every Friday.
Can I?
See you next week at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do it. This ended up being 27 minutes, but usually keep it under 20.
Subscribe.
Take care, guys. Have fun. Thanks for watching, Steve. I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, Stephanie. I appreciate it. There's a few other people who jumped in here, and if you're watching at home and you're doing the Chromecast or Apple TV or whatever, and you're not typing, I appreciate you watching anyways. Thanks for watching, and I will let Quinn end it up here.
No, it's mine.
Yep.
It's
So I will let Cinderella end it here. Can you end it for us, Cinderella?
Yep. Thanks for watching. Subscribe with my Cinderella channel. I will see you later.
Woo!
My name is Cinderella, and this is my friend Prince Charming.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. If you watch our Cinderella and Prince Charming video, and you get to click another Cinderella and Prince Charming channel, and I'm eating popcorn. That's so yummy. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe.
So we're signing off. Have a good night.
Have a good night. I have balloons and it's starting, and we have a best friend Mickey that can make you say subscribe.
Nope. We're getting ready to go. Say bye, everyone.
Bye everyone.